Greater Walters AME Zion Church credits its beginning to the mind of layman John D. Foster. Arriving in Chicago in 1875, like many others, he had arrived in the city looking for work. There was much work, for this was 4 years after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, and the city was deep in cleanup and reconstruction mode. Foster contacted his former pastor, Reverend E. H. Curry, about the fact that there was no AME Zion Church in the city. Reverend Curry discussed the matter with his bishop, G.W. Clinton. The idea of an AME Zion Church in Chicago began the transition into reality. Several years later, Bishop Clinton sent Reverend Jeremiah Washington to the city to organize a church. In the organizational meeting, Mr. Foster was elected chairman of the Board of Trustees. The first official address of the church was a house located at 5th Avenue and Peck's Court, near Polk and Wells Streets today. 5th Avenue became Wells Street in 1916. Peck's Court became 8th Street and later named Polk in 1921. Over the years, the church worshiped in several places. Other locations included 3736 Armour Avenue, 2830 South Dearborn Avenue, 3800 South Dearborn Avenue, damaged by fire, requiring the church to worship elsewhere for 2 years, a public school at 41st Street and Calumet, and Foresters Hall at 44th and State Street. After repairs were made on the property, the church returned to the 3800 South Dearborn location in 1925 and worshiped there until 1974. A distinguished list of persons pastored Greater Walters. Included in this group are such names as Dr. F. D. Douglas, Reverend E. D. W. Jones, Dr. W. A. Blackwell, Reverend R. H. Collins Lee, Reverend David P. Thomas, Reverend Norsey L. Meeks, Reverend George W. C. Walker Sr., Reverend Roy A. Holmes, and Reverend Joel D. Miles. The church was involved in many civic and social activities of the community and played a large part in giving aid and comfort to persons during periods of social unrest. Between 1955 and 1962, the Robert Taylor homes were constructed along the State Street corridor. Many members of the church were required to move from the familiar area. In 1972, the newly appointed pastor of Greater Walters, Reverend George W. C. Walker Sr., arrived with his family. After much prayer and deliberation, he found that the church might serve in a new location. With the help of God and the hard work of many persons, on January 6, 1974, a triumphant motorcade escorted the congregation to its new home at 8422 South Damon Avenue. It was dedicated in April of that year with Bishops William Alexander Hilliard and William Milton Smith participating in the services. In 2024, the church celebrated its 50th year at the Damon location. led by retired Bishop George W.C. Walker Sr. and Mrs. Geraldine J. Walker, a triumphant motorcade traced the route taken in 1974. A copy of the video is available. A jubilant celebration was held that weekend. As the church prepared for its centennial celebration in 1975, Reverend Walker commissioned the writing of the history of the church. From the collective memories of many church members, materials, photos, and other memorabilia contributed to that history. It serves as a living document to which we contribute through our work and service. Among the milestones in the history of Greater Walters, we can proudly look back on hosting the 40th quadrennial session of the General Conference in 1976 and witnessing the elevation of two of our pastors to the episcopacy. Reverend George W.C. Walker Sr. in 1988 and Reverend Roy A. Holmes in 2004. In 2025, we celebrated another milestone in the history of Greater Walters as we welcomed the 26th pastor in the history of the church, Reverend George W.C. Walker Jr. and First Lady Dawn Walker. Yes, you heard right. Our Reverend Walker is the son of Bishop George and Supervisor Geraldine, back at home. Greater Walters continues to celebrate a rich legacy of service to the Chicago community. During the mortgage burning ceremony in 1987, then Reverend George W.C. Walker Sr. concluded with the following remarks. A new chapter is now commencing in the life of this historic congregation. Your place in the archives of Zion Methodism is secure. Let us be ever mindful that the task of effective service is an ongoing task, but also remember that God, who brought us safe thus far, will surely carry us on. We can do all things through Christ, who strengthens us. The saga that is Greater Walters continues. The Spirit of the Lord is here.